Welcome to 3-week workshop on programming in C++. In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of overloading, overloading increment decrement operators. So we know that increment and decrement operator is coming under unary operator category. So we know that first of all, I'm going to recall that syntax for implementation of operator overloading. That is a return type. Operator is a keyword, then followed by the operator symbol. Then you are going to pass a number of arguments in it. Then we are going to define the corresponding function parameters. And there are two possible ways the operator overloading can be implemented, either by using a member function or maybe we can use a friend function for implementation purpose. So this is a unary operator, so that we must to know that how many number of arguments we need for the implementation purpose. Actually, if you are going to implement the concept of member function, we need only one. There is no argument needed for implementation purpose. So for a member function, but if you are going to implement as a through friend function, we must to use only one argument for a friend function logics. Okay, so here just I'm going to use a simple example program just for implementation of a unary operator overloading concept, increment and decrement operator overloading functions. So we know that there are two types of increment and decrement is there. One is a pre-increment and a post-increment. Actually, here everything will be defined. So for a pre-increment increment are differentiated by the arguments. So I'm going to create a sample class, and I assume that it is only one argument, only one data number it contains. Just for incrementation, just for showing the logic, just I'm implementing here. For example, here I'm going to define one variable. So I'm going to implement it with the help of constructors. So that is the best way to assign data numbers by using constructors. If you want, you can use runtime runtime in the main function and pass those value to that class method for initialization. It is the best way. So the value of a equal to. So here I'm going to create a one object for a sample. So passing some values. Then I'm going to show the value and I'm going to test it how it will work. First of all, I'm going to compile and wait, checking for errors. Yeah, and it is a s.show. Object name is a s. So now you can compile. So no error. Then I'm going to run the program. It will display as usual 20. Okay, so now I'm going to find F7 and trace the execution of this program. So it will be executed as usual and it will come out. Okay, now I'm going to apply the concept of a pre-increment. So you know that if you are compelled, surely it is an error message that illegal structure operation, because we are unable to perform an operation on user-defined data type. It is an object, so that it is called as user-defined data type. So if you want to apply the concept of user-defined data type, if you want to apply the operator on user-defined data type, we need to implement the operator overloading function. So that here the current object, so I'm going to implement as a member function, so that we know that member function means s dot and plus plus, and there is no argument needed. So and also that I will be updated on the current object itself. So operator, and I'm going to provide an operator symbol, and there is no need for any argument. So the concept is the value of this a will be incremental. So after calling this operator, just I'm going to show the value of a once again. Go to compile, no error. I'm going to run it. So that the value of a is 20 and 21. So just I can showcase. I'm going to run it. So initially the value is 20, then after that it will be changed as a 21 after the incrementation process. So whenever you're going to apply the incrementation process, try to identify how many number of data members we have inside of the class. And for all the data members, we must we try to apply the concept of increment operators. If you are putting increment, you are writing a function as increment and increment operator, and if you are applying the decrement operator, it is not a correct logic to implement. But the compiler won't make any error message and all. Even if you are putting minus here, the compiler won't take any error message. But as according to our statement, our operator, it is not meaningful way. so that whatever the operator you are applying, you can apply the same operator for only those members, and other operators you should not try to apply. Clear? Okay, so now this is the way you are going to apply the concept of pre-increment operators. And I'm going to try to increment the post-increment also, but actually it won't work. That prefix operator used as a postfix operator. Actually, prefix and different thing also there, so that there is a difference. This is a one important difference you must have. So void operator, then it is a plus plus. If it is a post increment, you have to use some constant here, but actually there is no need to use any constant here. This is the way we are going to differentiate. I will repeat once again. This is the way we are going to differentiate. So that means that in a pre-increment operator won't take any parameter, but post-increment it takes some constant value, but those constant value cannot use anywhere. So now you can run it, so that it will be displayed as 22, because after 2 increment only we are displaying. So if you want it, you can display the value here also after single increment. So it will be displayed as usual thing. So just you can check it how it will work by using a tracing F7. It call the method and display as usual. So it will, as usual, it will work. And for the next one is it will display, and it is for post one. It will execute that operator function, which is take once extra argument, but actually there is no need to use those extra arguments in anywhere. So it will be those extra values will be substituted by the compiler, so that there is no need to define extra things and all. Even if you want to apply any decrement operator, also you can define like this: void operator. If it is a pre-decrement operator, there is no need for any operator symbol. No need for any argument. But if you are applying the post-decrement operator, then we can use one constant symbol here, but no need to define what is the constant symbol you want. Just you can apply this just to increment and decrement logic for maximum number of data members wherever you want to apply. So whatever the data member you want, you can apply those operator on those data members, then take action. But actually this is a unary operator, so that it will reply, what is the step you want to do. You can change it. But for example, I want to make it as for this one, I want to make it as it is a friend function. It is a friend void, so that first one must be an object. So it is a sample. So it will be passed, so that a declaration must be here, and that the implementation must be outside of the class. So now you have to do this. So void operator, but actually you know that it won't work. Means that it will not increment. So s1 dot a plus plus, it won't work. You know that. So just if you want, you can check it. So just you can F7. You can use F7. Easy to understand. So it will print and so it will increment, and it will show the value of for a pre. So now it is a post. So it will work, but the value will not be changed. You know one thing, that whenever the object is passed as argument, while it takes only the copy of the value, so that the values are not updated. So that I told that S1 equal to, so like that I told you to assign the same object you need to assign. Then you need to return an object. So I think in unary operator overloading, I explained everything, so that you can return as object. So that automatically the values of the fields are copied here. Now you can compile. Yeah, small corrections. So here I forgot to declare, because I'm going to declare as a void. So no errors. Then you can execute as usual. So now it will be changed. So whenever you are going to make it as a friend function for unary operator, so always it must return an object. Then only the original value is updated, because there is no current object we have, so that the object must be updated. Because in your binary operator overloading, if you are going to implement as a print function, we are creating, because we are trying to store the same different objects, so that we are creating a temporary memory location. Those values will be updated. Here, I'm going just you can update it on the same memory location and you can assign it, because it takes only the copy. So like this the same way we have to implement the concepts. So if you want, you can implement the same logic for binary operator also. Binary operator overloading by using print function. So this is the way the concept of the unary operator, means increment decrement operators, are differentiated by the compiler. So if it is a prefix operator, it won't take any arguments for a member function. But in case it takes a one extra argument for a postfix, but it is a constant value as an argument, but those constant value will not be used. So it will be this indicate that the compiler will indicate that this is for pre-increment and post-increment. We know that the meaningful is different. So that the compiler shown the logic, but it is a pre-increment and post-increment. Sorry, pre-increment and the pre-decrement has same thing, and post-increment and post-decrement also have a same concepts. Thank you.